Hello, Mo. As I'm putting my Libby on.
And then I touched my hair.
Oh no!
But you know what? You know what's happening? I have a little fan over to the side because I'm melting in here.
Oh my gosh! And it's
blowing
it's not even summer yet, Mo. I mean, it's technically spring, right?
It's not even that warm outside today. It's raining.
True.
And it's not as warm as it was the last couple days. But this room is warm. I think the humidity is probably high.
Well, yeah, it's raining. It's 100% humidity.
Well, yeah, I'm melting.
You're melting. Oh my god! So today we're gonna talk about all of our finds, all of our solds. Well, not all of our solds, because that would be a lot of things to talk about. Don't say. I was going to say, don't say you only have like.
Talk about all of my solds today.
It is going to be all of your solds.
I have a couple more than this.
Oh my gosh! And we're going to talk about some shady thrift store practices, because that could be a hot topic in today's. I put butter in my coffee. Oh my gosh!
Butter in the coffee's good. Yeah,
especially the Kerrygold, the grass fed. Oh my god, it is like yum. The best. And when I remember when people would talk about that, putting butter in their coffee, I was just like, ew, gross. And until I did it, I was like, oh, I love it.
It's good.
It's good.
I don't do it every time because that butter is expensive, but every once in a while I put a little butter in there.
Yeah.
Yum.
If I could, I would put it in every cup, but I try to only do it like 1 or 2 cups a day. Well, I probably drink like 4 cups, but they're all decaf. It's all decaf though. So it's like, just for the flavor of the sweetener.
Because it's not 100% decaf ever, right? So you're getting like 1 cup of caffeine. I don't know.
Probably.
I don't know how much there is. I know there's still a little bit of caffeine in decaf tea. I'm assuming it's the same with coffee.
I'm sure. And
it's just not a lot.
I think I use a full like scoop or whatever. I don't even know.
Yeah.
Like it's not dark or anything. It's not rich. Do you know what I mean? Now I have the hiccups. Jeez. Oh my gosh. I'm a mess. How do I have the hiccups? I haven't even ate anything yet today. But oh my god. Yeah, maybe.
You're listening to the Flippin' Fantastic Podcast.
If you're watching this and you aren't subscribed, go hit that button right now and watch this.
Let's be real. We're the #1 reselling podcast.
Wow. So how was your weekend? Did you go to estate sales? Yard sales? I want to hear all about your yard sales.
They weren't that great because, it was Mother's Day weekend too, but
that's right.
I personally don't feel that the yard sales around here are great. Like you might get one, but it's just me. Maybe it's just me because I detest driving around and getting out and seeing nothing. And then you have to get back in and,
oh my gosh. It's you, Mo.
I'm
it's
lazy.
Just you.
So I went to an estate sale that it looked like it had good stuff. Well, I think we talked about this on our live because I had gone the day before.
Oh, Friday. Yeah. I forgot.
Yeah, and everything was like super expensive. But we ended up. So Drew went with me on Saturday because
he's looking for a new plane.
No,
you made him.
I made him, and so we went to this estate sale not far over the line in Pennsylvania, and it looked like it would be good because it was just somebody having it. But she had the stuff priced way up, and she was telling people, "Oh, this was my aunt's house. I inherited it with all the stuff, and she was an artist, and she had like pottery stuff, and everything was priced up." Because I was like, it's too sentimental for her.
Oh, sure.
So I didn't she had color coded stickers for everything, and I can't even remember what it was, but she was like, she had like Tiffany style lamps, which are nice. They were nice ones. They weren't cheap ones.
Yeah.
But she was, and she was also doing they sell for $500 on eBay. So I'm asking $200. And I was like, no.
Oh.
I wouldn't even pay $200 for personal use,
Right.
And so that one was a bust. So then we went to, there was a couple community garage sales going on, and it happened to be the same neighborhood as the estate sale I went to earlier on Thursday.
Oh, okay.
Or no, did I go Thursday?
Friday.
Yeah, I went Thursday.
Friday morning.
No,
Oh.
No, Thursday morning. Thursday.
Uh-huh.
It was Thursday through Saturday or something. So we did go and it was half off. I did get a couple things that
You got
were,
those candlesticks?
No, they were still too much. And when you looked at one of them, it was all bent.
Really?
And Drew didn't want to pay $150
for the bent.
I was like, but it's Mother's Day. He's like, that was really crooked. And I'm like, yeah, it is. And but they still, I mean, stuff was priced too much. But what I did do is apparently everything in the basement was $1. So it was 50 cents. So, and I dug around in there and I found some Christmassy stuff. And there's one thing that I got that's in our, our little, when we talk about what we found.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so, and
that's
then
pretty
the
good.
garage sales there, I only think I got something at one of them. I got some books to sell on, I was like, oh, I can sell these on chains. Like they're sci-fi fantasy books. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Cricket Spine. Nice. So I'm going to try that. And I think I got some t-shirts somewhere.
Like old school
Life
t-shirts?
Is Good. No, Life is Good, Vineyard Vines, that kind of thing for like 50 cents. So I got a couple for $1. So.
That's great. 50-cent clothes. That's the best. The cheapest I've ever seen is a quarter at a yard sale.
Yeah.
Quarter clothes. That's
awesome.
Yeah. I know. Dang, that sucks that you didn't get those candlesticks. But you know what? It is probably better that it was bent because then it was like a definite, like, I have to pass,
Yeah, because you know how they're like constructed, like they're screwed together in sections. I was like, we could probably fix it, but I mean, I really like them, but I don't know if I like them $50 worth.
I get you.
Like maybe for personal, yeah,
maybe
50.
for 50. Because then you could you could just twist it so it's like you don't see the bend or whatever.
Yeah, exactly, and you could probably like. Because if you took the bottom off, then you could take the other section and probably like maneuver it.
Re-screw it together and maybe it'll twist. Yeah.
But, like I said, they would have been for personal use, but they were.
But then you could eventually sell them if you're like, oh, I'm over this decor. That's the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
that's what we did with, do you remember that fish I showed you? I think it was like a big, huge planter. It was like blue.
Yeah.
And we had 2 of them. We sold those. I can't remember for how much. Was it this year? I don't know. I keep track of all that stuff.
Yeah, I think didn't we talked about it on one. Did you show them?
I did. Well, I don't know if I showed them, but here it is. I'm looking at it right now. They sold for $115.
That's awesome.
Well, that's amazing. And I think I even paid more than that. They were from like Marshalls or TJ Maxx or whatever, but they're supposed to be outdoor planters. And I think I paid $40 a piece because the price tag was still on the bottom.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But we just changed our decor colors and Matt was like, I'm going to put them high, and he sold them. The lady was so excited when she picked them up too.
That's awesome. So, I love that. Yeah. I thought about it. I don't know. I'm too cheap.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody else was buying them. So, like all the brass was still there. They had it priced so high,
Wow.
So
maybe it'll end up at the local thrift store.
Yeah, I know. I have to go look.
You'll have to keep an eye out.
So that was what?
Do you have a lot of what kind of thrift stores do you have there? Do you have like Goodwill, Salvation Armies, CHKDs? What do you have? Like do you have?
What's a CHKD?
Well, I guess you wouldn't. It's the Children's Hospital of the King's Daughters.
Oh, yeah, no. We have Goodwills. Delaware Goodwills are like small, like, and there's a bunch of them in, you know what I mean? I mean, places like I could go to like, 5 and less than a day, spend an hour at each. But
Salvation Armies?
There is one, but it's in the city. I actually need to make Drew take me just because it's not in a great neighborhood and see what they have. And then we have a Value Village.
Value Village. That's what I was going to say. We don't have that here.
Well, we didn't. We had this one. They called themselves Prime Thrift. They've been around for a while, but when you would get your not on the receipt, but on I think on your credit card, like if you use your card, it would say Value Village. And then they opened up so they have a small one and then they open up a big one and it says Value Village on it.
Oh, okay.
They call themselves Prime Thrift, though. It's like Value Village Prime Thrift. I don't know.
Huh.
And then I don't know if I go into like the Philly area and like right across in New Jersey, there's, and I haven't been to any of them in a while. I used to go like during COVID, like when I couldn't go, when my sister got her treatments and she was in Philly, I'd take her there, but I couldn't go in with her. So I would
go thrifting.
Find thrift stores. There's Second Avenue thrifts, which I really like, but they're kind of a drive. Like I just have to, take a day and decide I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And I think there's one not far over in New Jersey, a red, white, and blue, but I've never been to that one.
That's the name of the thrift store?
Yeah, it was a little too far of a drive, to go and then come back to pick my sister up. But red, white, and blue. I've seen people add them on videos.
I've never even heard of that.
Yeah.
That's cool though. Red, white, and blue. Yeah, we don't have like the only big chains I think that people would know is like Salvation Army and Goodwill. And then they're like individual on the CHKD, but that's popular, I guess, just around here. Because there's a children's hospital in Norfolk.
Yeah. We don't have any. There's a church one that's not far that I go to sometimes, but it's real small. But I have found some things in there before. But they're only open a few days a week, like, on the weekend or something.
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm trying to think. Goodwills are there's not a lot of independent ones, I guess.
That's what we have
like
more
in
of,
Delaware,
I feel like,
not
independent ones.
Yeah.
And some of those are my favorites. Like there's two in Norfolk that are like, well, not my favorite. It just depends on what I'm sourcing for. Like if I'm going for clothes, like those are my favorites for clothes and stuff like that.
Yeah. I would love some independent. Delaware just doesn't, there's Goodwills and that's where everybody drops their crap off, So
right. Yeah.
There's just not that room there's some vintage shops in some, but they're not priced for me to buy anything.
Yesterday I was at the Goodwill and as soon as I walk in the door, there's this lady with a cart full of like hard goods. And like it was overflowing. Like, I mean, she had big stuff. And then the lady that was walking in front of me said to that lady, like, "Oh, you got a cart full of stuff." And she was like, "Yeah, I have a booth." And I was like, "Oh, geez." And then that lady said, "Oh, I have a booth too." And because you remember I told you like all of our auction friends have a booth.
Right.
Well, it's
at that
right up
place.
the street. Yes, it's right up the street from there.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, that's where all the stuff is going to go to these booths. So now it's like highly competitive because everybody has booths there.
For real. Seriously.
I know.
So I wonder, you have to keep us informed on how this vintage market does. Like, and like, does it stay? Or are people just going to be like, no, I saw this at Goodwill yesterday and now you're selling it here, know?
I doubt it. I bet the people that shop at that booth aren't shopping at Goodwill's. You know what I mean? Because
that's true.
I would just shop at Goodwill. I wouldn't go to the booth or wouldn't go to that vintage booth because you already know the game. And you know what I mean? I don't know. But it's cool. The vintage booth is cool. Like it's got cool stuff, but
we don't have anything like that around here.
You don't? There's a couple of them around here.
There's a couple stores. I don't even know if they're still there. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like sometimes they come and go. Like in some of these places, they'll open a vintage store and then it's gone. Like a store, not booth place. We only have like in my Delaware area, like two that I know of, antique.
Like antique malls or something?
Yeah, there's one that's been there forever and like everything's, priced pretty high. It's not like, I'm going in there and finding anything. And then there's another one that's fairly new. It's been there for a while, but it's fairly new. I mean, they all have cute stuff, but
yeah, they do. If it was shopping for personal use. Yeah.
Right. It's pure 100% like, you're finding that stuff
for personal, right?
Right. It's not.
Yeah.
There's
no way. There's no wiggle room to resell.
Right. If you watch like crazy lamp lady when she goes to some of those big antique malls up there. Like, there'll be ones that are like, high price antiques, and then there's like, the junk booths,
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, she finds stuff, but she can sell stuff for like way over.
Yeah.
Because of, her name and everything. But it's not like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are, I'm looking for a specific thing. I want this. And, I'm not going to find it myself thrifting, I want that specific vase or whatever. I would go there. I wouldn't.
That's how I felt when we went to it's called, what's it called? VA Vintage. But I saw stuff that I wanted, like, for personal. But
vintage, that's what I would call it.
Vintage. VA Vintage. But yeah, so we keep track. And I told you they do their booth rentals by the month. So if you weren't doing well, I guess you could cancel. But when we went, they still had space available. They have like it marked off on the floor, like that's how big your booth space would be.
Right.
But yeah, it's always a possibility in the future.
Yeah.
But you have to bring, but then I would go in debt from the
booth.
Beach by booth. Yes. I don't have any of those, like people are bringing in like shelving and like curio cabinets and things to like display all their stuff. I don't have any of that stuff. So I would be.
No, that's like something you'd have to like go start looking for. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see.
If you want to. Who has I thought I've talked about her before, Yvonne, the Thrifty Rich. I like watching her. She has booths. She has like 2 or 3 at a big antique mall she's in Colorado.
Oh, okay.
I think like Colorado Springs. I don't know. Anyway, but she'll be like, oh, this is, she sells on eBay and she's like, this is eBay, or like, oh, I'm going to get this for the booth, or I don't need any more of that for the booth. I need, like, she sells certain things and she'll be looking for certain, I need more of this because it's selling. I just think it's cool. Like if you are looking at selling in a booth, like I think she's been doing it for a long time. So she knows a lot of stuff about, about booths. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, and plus, if she's selling, she's like keeping track of her inventory. So she's probably like, "Oh, I'm selling all my glass sells, all my pink glass sells." So I need to keep an eye out for pink
I'm gonna need some
things.
more pink glass, or oh, this, like she'll say, "Oh, I'll pick up." Well, you know how Jess Resell to Ride will say, "Oh, because they have, and their booths are different." And do you know what I mean? Like, and it depends on where you are. I know she'll tell you, like, there's. Yvonne, she says that where there's different places, like it's a big mall, and in the back you can have a certain amount of you can have more new stuff, but in the front you have to have like a certain percentage of vintage and antique versus anything new,
Right.
And I think, I don't know. I mean, I know Jess, they sell clothes, they sell, like, how she'll be like, oh, these Pokemon, like they package up the Pokemon cards and they sell them.
Yeah.
Because the kids, and I know she does stuff like that. She's like, oh, I put, like, she'll buy like little things that aren't that expensive, but like that sell. Do you know what I mean? It's just, I guess it's just, you live and learn. But it's interesting to me. But there's not really a place for me around here. I have a feeling, I've never looked at as what the rents are in those 2 places, but I'm sure they're too much for me.
Yeah,
that's a lot of work. You got to restock it. You got to
because you got to think you keep enough stuff in there to, you got to make your rent, and then you got to make profit on top of that. So it's like,
exactly.
I would just be constantly, I don't know. I just feel like I would be constantly chasing the rent. Because the rent, I swear, I mean, I could be wrong. I can't remember. Matt says it's one. I think it's the other. It's either $425 or $450 a month for the big, and that's a lot. Like and they take like,
that is a lot.
I don't know. I can't remember how much they take. Maybe 10%. So you have got to sell a lot of stuff. But our friend said that they're doing well. I don't know what well means. What it's all. I mean, I'm assuming that they've got to be making money. Well means you're making money, right? Not just
I guess.
rent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't be doing it I wouldn't do it a month longer if I was like not paying my rent, but
yeah. And how long would you give it before, since it's so new, like, do you give it, 2 months, 6 months, like what, there's a lot of stuff to think about,
6 months, no way. But yeah,
well, not at 450, but you know what I mean? Like how long do you just, or maybe you're just making rent. Do you, how long do you wait until you're like, okay, I can only just make the rent in this place. I can't make a profit.
Especially when it's that much. But I think like Resell the Ride, I think Jess's booth, isn't hers like 200 and something? I could be wrong. But I feel like when I think she has 2 booths too. I think she has one, unless they're, I don't
Steve
know.
and Donna have 2, right? Happy
I
Heart
don't
Treasures.
know.
I thought they had 2, like next to each other. Like they got another one next to each other.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But I know if Jess still has both, one's in one part of the store and the other one's like in the corner.
Okay.
So I think one has more like pop culture-y type things, like toys and cards. And then the other side, I can remember it being like clothing. I could see clothing hanging there and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I've seen it. I just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what from the videos, I should say. But
right. Yeah, exactly.
Oh my gosh. It's pouring. If
pouring?
If the internet flickers,
it was pouring here earlier when we were doing the other thing. It's not really raining here yet anymore.
Gosh,
it's just dark.
Yeah, this weekend we went to a community yard sale, and it was in a different city, so we had to drive.
Okay.
And it started at 7:00. So I was like, oh my God, we got to get up so early, because you have to get up early. And it was the only community yard sale going on. So, everybody was going to be there. Oh my gosh. We got up. I was like, okay, if we get up at 6, that means we have to like get up at 6 and like start getting ready. Well, we got there at 7 and it was so busy. It was so busy. And I heard one of the people say that there was people there earlier, like, between 6 and 6:30, like already like early birds. And we bought zero. We bought nothing at that yard sale.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. We didn't find anything. I saw this one light that was so cool. It was like this mid-century light. It was one of those like that you hang on the wall, like a sconce light. And it was like, it was wood, it like this teak wood or whatever. And it was a cool shape, and it had like gold chain, and it had this like amber globe. That whole mid-century look. And the lady said it was $25. And I was like, we're getting it. It's totally going to sell. And then I went to go buy it. And the arm that was hanging to hold the globe, it was wood as well.
Yeah.
It was broke. It had broke.
Aww.
So they had like fixed it. So I was like, damn it. Matt was like, I bet it still would have sold. I was like, well, I'm sure it would have too. But I didn't want to, deal with it. But it was so nice. She said, because somebody else was interested in it, she said she had gotten it at an estate sale too, probably like a year ago.
Yeah.
It looked like it was from the 70s. It was so cool. So then we just kind of like piddled around and followed signs, the ones that weren't advertised. And we only found like three things to resell. And then like we bought like personal things. But one of the things that I found is in our like what we picked up this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Our twos.
Yeah.
I can talk about that.
Yeah.
And I only got it because, we got the new Pope and stuff like that. Because I thought it would sell fast. I know. He's a Chicago's Bull fan.
He went to Villanova, which is right outside of Philly.
Yeah. So it was what was it? It was I don't know if you have it. Is it one of them? Is it those primitive cross things? Well, it's not a cross. It's like 2 little figures.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't know if you were going to.
We want to talk about what's sold, and then we can talk about.
Well, I wanted to talk about that because we were talking about what we found.
Oh, do you want to talk about
figures?
Hold on.
Because I found it this weekend.
You're going out of order. I have it all set. Now I have to go
I'm
back and forth, Amy.
But I just found it. So I was like, oh, we'll talk about it
You're
now.
messing me up.
Oh my gosh. Well, this is what I found. I only paid $2 for both of them.
Mhm.
And it's like, I think that tall one is like 13 or 14 inches. And then the other one, I was just like, oh, for $2, I'm totally going to grab those. They're like these rustic, primitive, like religious figures.
Yeah.
When I Google Lens, the one with the cross on his like robe, I guess.
Yeah.
It said Santo. What is that? Santo?
Santo.
Oh, like, is that Spanish for saint?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I put that in the listing. I was like, I don't know what it means, but they were selling.
like Santa and Santo, saint.
Santo. But those were cool.
So
$2.
are they like Mexican? Are they Spanish?
I don't know. They're definitely hand carved, primitive, old.
Yeah.
They were old. Like the lady told me that she had them on her dresser. She's like, I had them on my dresser forever. And she was an older lady. So I was like, they're definitely vintage. So that was a good find.
Cool.
And then I guess we'll do the other one since we're already here. I found this
order.
I know. I just wanted to talk about it because it is so like inconspicuous. Everybody would look right past this at the thrift store. But it is just a sage green combat shirt, like military combat shirt.
Okay.
And it's Dry Fire, which is the brand, but it's called what's it called? It's called like Fromex, which is like it's a fire resistant shirt.
Okay.
And brand new. These sell from like $380 to $500 brand new for this shirt.
Wow.
I paid $4.99 at the thrift store for it. And it was I bought it yesterday and I was like, oh my gosh, as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm getting it. But I have it listed for like 119. It'll sell quick too, I think.
Yeah.
So
wow.
I know it looks inconspicuous, but keep an eye out for it.
What's the brand?
It's Dry Fire.
Dry Fire.
It's flame resistant. It'll say FR on it.
Yeah.
So I know.
I want to look twice at it. Looks weird.
Exactly.
It looks like it has AstroTurf on the pockets.
It's Velcro.
Velcro, yeah. I can
put
like
your patches
here,
on it.
But it's like big. It's so big, and
it
green.
Is. I know. I guess because we live in a military town. I see that. Like I just know to look for those things. Right. But not that everybody lives in a military area. But don't think it doesn't even look. It's not even like a high quality make. Do you know what I mean? You know how like you can see things and you're like, that's quality.
Right.
This doesn't even, these aren't even like, like really thick or anything like that. But yeah, that's it. That was it. Keep an eye out.
Nice.
I should make over $100.
Nice. Nice.
What about you, Mo?
Okay. Here's what I found.
Okay.
Nothing special.
Oh,
I just snapped a picture really quick. It's custard glass. It needs to be cleaned.
Oh,
it's dirty.
What do you mean?
So it should glow. It's Fenton. It's that yellow, like that, opaque yellow. I got it at that estate sale, so it was marked $5. I got it for half.
Looks cool.
But yeah, it only sells for like $15. But it's in good. Aside from being very dirty, it was in good shape.
Do you put like candy in it? Like, what are those for?
Is it big? Whatever you want.
Potpourri?
Take that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. What will you use? Like a little magic eraser and clean it?
Yeah, probably. If it doesn't come off, if I soak it, if it doesn't come off, I don't know.
Yeah.
And then I got these for $1. Hopefully they work. I didn't plug them in yet. I saw comps for like 40, so.
They're what are they? They're curlers.
Hot rollers, sorry.
Hot rollers.
Helen of Troy hot shot tools.
Okay. Wow. Well, even if they don't work, Mo, I have sold the clips.
I was saying I could probably sell the clips or the rollers. So I mean, it looks brand new. So this lady was one of the only garage sales I go to that's like wasn't baby and kid stuff. It was and was actual stuff from her house. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and not like a reseller selling their stuff.
Yeah.
I went to one. I don't think it was this weekend though. I think it was last weekend. And the guy, he must be some sort of reseller or something. But he had like he had 4 Barbies and like 2 like generic, like the fashion dolls that look like Barbie. And so I picked up the Barbies and I was like, he didn't have a price. I said, how much do you want for the Barbies? They had clothes on. They were in decent condition. He was like, well, $2 a piece. They're from 1966. I was like, dude, these are not from 1966. They were like newer Barbies. I'd have paid $2 for all of them, but I wasn't paid $2 each. And he was like, you can have all of them for 10. I was like, well, those aren't even Barbies. I didn't say it to him. I was like, those 2 aren't even Barbies. They're like dollar store fashion dolls. Like,
right.
Anyway, but that's the kind of people that's one of the big things that I run into is like people like that have stuff. I don't know. It's not like that wasn't his stuff. Like he was reselling somewhere else. Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, these Barbies aren't from 1966 just because it says 1966 on the back.
Right.
That's
like that was the mold. That was the mold date
or patent pending or something. You know what I mean? One of those things. It wasn't. Yeah. They were new. Anyway, he was like, they're from 1966. I was like, I don't feel like educating someone in the middle. I don't even know that much about Barbies. I knew they weren't from 1966.
Right. Oh my gosh.
They weren't even from 86, like or 96. They were like 2006.
Oh my gosh. No way.
They were new. Oh. I figured that was something I could lot up and sell because I have a couple more I could, but anyway, yeah. So.
Oh man.
Ever wonder what happens when the filter comes off? That's why we created Dash of Sass. It's your one-way ticket to everything and anything, served with a side of sarcasm and a sprinkle of sass. Listen every Wednesday wherever you get your podcast. I promise you'll thank us later.
But what about your sales? You said you had a ton of stuff to ship out.
I do have one that's a big problem. Well, it's not a problem, but I got to ship it out today, and I got to get some stuff for it. Where am I? Here. I sold that yesterday. I shipped it out. It's just a little napkin holder. Strawberries. Bread and butter.
Ceramic napkin holder with strawberries?
Yeah, I keep forgetting. Yes. Ceramic napkin holder. It's got strawberries on it. It's vintage. Blah, blah, blah.
It's cute.
$14.87. Yeah, it was cute.
It is cute.
It's I always pick up stuff with strawberries on. I don't know, people like this time of year always strawberry things. But this one sold last night and I was excited.
Oh,
but
nice.
I think I'm gonna go get a pool noodle and wrap it around the edge. It is my vintage dome bubble glass brass framed crucifix.
Wow.
I sold it for $74.87. They paid $20 in shipping. And yeah,
that's great.
So
where did you get that?
About that?
An estate sale?
I got that in an estate sale a while back. I mean, it's been listed for. I mean, I know I talked about it.
It looks familiar.
So it's been listed since like before Easter. Like I know I listed it at the beginning of this year. So
yeah,
and yeah, so
that's nice. Is that like mother of pearl or something behind it? Like, what is that material?
I don't know what it is. It just looks like some sort of
like shell. Does it look like shell?
No, it's almost like the holographic stuff, paper, like cards and stuff. That's what it looks like it was backed with. Because when you move it around, it kind of moves a little, but I don't know.
Shifts, like a shifting look.
Yeah, a little bit, but not a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, so. I got to mail that out today, but I think
I need packing that up.
I need a pool noodle. I have enough stuff, but I think I might go get a pool noodle.
Heck yeah, those are my friends.
I don't have any at the moment, so I'm just going to take a trip to the Dollar Tree, and get some. So
for sure.
So I sold something over $20. Yeah,
nice
party.
I should get my little kazoo out. Kazoo! Oh, man.
And then yours put mine to shame because yours are all more than mine.
Oh, my gosh. No, they're not.
These are cool. Are these new? Yeah. Those are new. Yeah, new.
I just got those, too, on my trip, my Metallica
new
trip.
Orvis Polar Tech T400 waders.
Mm-hmm.
Big overall waders.
Yeah. Nice. We found them in, I don't even know where. I don't know where. It was somewhere in between here and Blacksburg, Virginia.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So those are new. You just
$4.99. I paid $4.99. Yeah, they sold overnight. Yeah, sold overnight.
Does Orvis stuff in general sell well, or just like stuff like this?
If you buy from what I've noticed, it's like the better quality things.
Yeah.
Because they do sell Orvis at like Costco. Is it Costco?
Yeah, sometimes you see some Orvis stuff there. Yeah. There used to be an outlet here. We had an.
Oh, really?
I think did we have an Orvis, or was it an LOB an outlet?
Yeah. But these were, I just knew $4.99. I knew they were going to sell because they're, look, it's got fishing, fleece, hunting. It's all those things. Mm-hmm. And it was, they were Polar Tech and they were new tags. I was like, I'm not going to go wrong with that. So
for $5. Yeah, no.
I like to get like, I don't know. I like to get like the fleece sweaters, like cable knit sweaters and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's just more substantial pieces. But yeah. So.
Yeah, I know that. I was just wondering, like, because like back in the day, they were a big catalog and they always had really nice sweaters and stuff. I was just wondering if like the vintagey stuff of theirs would sell well.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. I found some. I've still even like the women's stuff too. They do well too. Yeah. Well, I don't remember what the other one was that I sold. The other thing. Oh,
now you've shown this before on stuff you found.
I did?
Yeah, your vintage dress. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Well, it's hard I mean, you showed me for sure, but I think
I showed you because I think I did a YouTube live video of me finding this. Remember from the auction when I was doing them.
Maybe.
But it's a brass Virginia Metal Crafters fox head with like a whip, but it's like it's a doorstop. At least that's what I came up with. I only paid, this was when I only paid $5 for the tote, Mo.
Back in the $5 days.
Yeah, so I paid $5.
That's awesome. And $340.99
plus shipping.
It unscrews for shipping. That's hot.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
I was able to do that.
Yeah,
and then I took a picture. I think the last
save
picture
a few inches
in the listing was it unscrewed, and it was like a simple thing. It was like a bolt holding it together.
Right. But, yeah. That it saves you a good, I don't know how many inches, but
I think probably like 5 inches.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
I know. It costs like $20-something to ship it too. Like me out of pocket. So
that thing,
it was awesome. Nice. Yeah, I was stoked. And nobody else bid on it but me. So I was so excited. Oh my gosh. Oh, so we were talking about shady thrift store practices, Mo?
Yeah.
What kind of shady thrift store practices have you heard about or come across?
Well, I have been in like the thrift, like the Goodwill, and you see something like that's hidden behind something else. And, I don't know. I mean, sometimes around here, the Goodwills, like, if the shelves are pretty full, like, and the person who was shelving stuff didn't put in the right place. So maybe that's why. But sometimes you're like, did they hide this here on purpose?
Maybe.
I don't know that I've ever bought something I found that I thought was hidden. It wasn't in my wheelhouse, or it wasn't really something that I thought would sell. But I've heard the stories of other people saying that they found really good stuff hidden, so whether it's just another customer, because on some places tags are on sale certain days of the week, so they're waiting.
Yeah.
Or if it's I've heard that sometimes it's the employees hiding it for someone or for themselves. So.
Oh yeah, for themselves or for a family member or something.
Yeah.
I could see that. Yeah. I know I've talked about this one. There's a thrift store that has, there's a guy that goes there all the time. We always see him, and he will hang at the back door, like where the racks will come out, and the guy will open the door and push the rack out and let him go through the rack first. And then when he's done, then he'll go push the rack onto the floor. And it's happened multiple times. Like I've seen that, and I'm like, gosh darn. So
the guy's through the rack before it comes officially out. He's letting him in the back.
See, no, he's not letting him in the back. He's at the door. So the guy will open the door and push the rack out, but he will leave the rack right there, and he'll let him go
and
through
look at it too.
Well, he stands there with him, so he's standing there with that guy.
But I'd be like, I guess this is what we're doing now.
I don't know.
Around here, people would be up there with him. I'm telling you. Like when I go into the PA ones, because they don't do that here in Delaware. Like they'll bring out like a bin or something, and everybody just will go through it, or depending on how many people are in the store, and then the kid or whoever it is, will shelve everything else. But in Pennsylvania, the minute that rack's out, everybody's, because the one in Lancaster just brings, constantly brings a rack out all day long.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, but it's almost like it's not like when they bring them out, like they will set them aside.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like it's like just like, hey, it's literally barely out the door.
Right.
You know? And it's right at opening too, because we will get to this one like at opening. So it's literally it's almost like as if it's their thing, their shtick. You
wonder if he's putting stuff on there that he knows that guy wants too.
Yes.
So that he's the first one there to grab it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, he could just send him a text and go, hey, 20 items. 20 items. I need $20.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy.
I know. And then, the whole, like, people could be like hoarding it in the back for other employees. And it doesn't even come onto the floor. I've heard about that.
Right. Yeah.
But, and I told you, I went to a yard sale one time that the lady works at a Goodwill or one of those thrift stores around us.
Yeah.
And I swear all that stuff in there was like thrifted things, because it was a very eclectic group of items at this yard sale.
Right.
Like it made me think that it wasn't like from her house. I mean, it could have been.
Right.
It could have been because she works there.
Honestly, maybe I don't know these people and I don't know who works where, but like that's what I'm saying. I go to these yard sales and I'm like, these people are either resellers or they're doing something, because this stuff is not it's not from their house. It's just too weird. Like, when I go and I see a couple Stanley cups, where I got the rollers, she was selling, her daughter was selling a couple Stanley cups. They were too much, but like there was stuff from her house. Like you could tell, as opposed to that guy with the Barbies. That was not in his house. Like he didn't know anything about anything.
Yeah.
Like he was a reseller or something, or he goes to the flea market. I don't know.
Maybe he bought a storage unit, and that was
could
from a
be
storage
that
unit.
too. Yeah, absolutely. Like that's what I'm saying. That's why I say I don't like garage sales around here, because the ones that are actually people just trying to get rid of the crap in their house is, I feel like, few and far between. If it's not people selling their kids stuff, which if I had little kids, that's great, man. I'd be at them all the time to get clothes and
heck yeah,
toys and stuff.
Yeah,
because that stuff is like brand new if the kid has only worn it once, and they grow out of it. But that's what they are around here. I'm telling you.
But don't skip the ones, even if they have baby things, because there's like baby monitors and tactical baby bags. It's called tactical baby bag. Those can sell for like $80, and they're like dad harnesses for your kids to sit in, and they're like diaper bags for dads. Like I've sold. I mean, I look
one for that stuff, but I've never found anything like good.
And then there's these they're called Owlet. They're like they're little monitors that go around babies' feet. So when they're sleeping,
the oxygen monitor. And
those sell really well too. I bought one of those at a yard sale that only had one table.
You know why? Everybody had those for their babies during COVID.
Oh yeah, that's true.
They were like big. Like I know everybody. Like I saw them everywhere. I mean, I'll look for stuff like that, but I don't often find it. It's usually just clothes and
I know. Baby toys. Same here. Same here. It's that's what they typically are, but it's those ones that you don't go to. I know. Yeah. Like Matt will say, you know how you drive by a yard sale and you're like, it has one table, and Matt will always say, they might have a pocket knife up there and we just can't see it. So we have to stop.
Because he wants that pocket knife.
Well, because, some of them will sell, like we found at a yard sale, we found like a old Victorinox, and it sold for like $150, I think.
Yeah.
And we only paid $5 for it. And we bought multiple pocket knives at that sale, but I was just like, we got to stop. It might have a pocket knife. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. What about you guys? Have you had any, what are the shady thrift store shenanigans you guys have going on in your town? Because I'm curious what other people see or what they're doing or.
Yeah, well, we know there's people that don't like thrift stores. Like they don't go to thrifts in their area because, they say they don't have anything or they don't like policies or stuff like that. Which I get. I mean, thrift stores around here, you still find some good stuff. So, which is good because I don't find that I don't get this monster pile like everybody else does during garage sale season. I don't know.
I don't either, Mo. That was just that one weekend. I had to come home and switch cars.
But I mean, some of these places, they have these garage sales. Oh, we went to 200 garage sales.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah,
I have
that's like
a
the
neighborhood, a community sales in 10 neighborhoods next weekend, and I'll be lucky if there's 20 houses. Not everybody does it.
Yeah, same. I don't know what's going on here next weekend, but
I know there's more because I know we've got a couple neighborhoods that are right near me are having some, and I know some more on the other part of town are having some.
Yeah.
The next weekend's like the big weekend for them because then it's Memorial Day weekend.
Oh yeah.
And then there's not a whole lot in the summer here, like because it's community sales around here. Yeah. So
it's hit or miss, once it starts getting warmer, but we still go because if you don't go, you don't. If you 100% don't go, you 100% don't find.
Right. Well, I look for them. I'm just saying, like they don't. There's no advertisements for them anywhere. You know what I mean? Like from like June. Like we'll have a few more in the fall, but summertime it's few and far between.
Yeah. Yep. So let us know, guys, what shenanigans you have going on. And with that, we're flipping out. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching and check out more of our videos right here. We're flipping out.